Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today we're going to do Blu-ray DVD shopping guide and reviews for Tuesday, December 17th, 2019. So before I start the video, I just want to ask you guys to go watch my holiday gift guide. I'm giving away like 5 movies, I believe it is, in that video. So if nothing else, just go enter the giveaway. Right now you have a pretty good chance of winning. But I just also wanted to let you guys know that something a little bit different in this week's video, in that I'm reviewing 2 movies that are releasing next week. With some of the Lionsgate titles, they've been giving dates they want reviews up by. And the dates, unfortunately, are before the release, which I don't really care for, you know, because I like to review them the week they release, and this doesn't really give me that chance. But I have 2 here that I'll be reviewing at the end of the video for next week. So remember, you can find affiliate links to purchase all these movies down in the description below. So first up this week, guys, we have Trick. This one's releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon, Target, Walmart, $14.59. Best Buy, $14.99. Also releasing on a DVD, Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart, $13.99, Target, $14.59. Now, RLJE Films did send me over a copy of Trick for review. Now, this one was this kind of horror slasher Halloween kind of movie. Kind of reminded me like of the feeling of Scream a little bit. Not exactly, but you know, just kind of some of the things kind of remind me of Scream. This thing has this really cool slipcover with a texture there and kind of like this glossy in the middle. And I don't know that it's coming through on here, but it just has this really cool look to it. This one does have Omar Epps. It has Jamie Kennedy and Tom Atkins. Jamie Kennedy is hardly in it, and his character is really strange, and his wardrobe is really strange. He doesn't really seem to fit the movie. Doesn't really seem to fit the part. And to be honest, this was actually my second time watching it, and I didn't even realize he was towards the beginning of the movie. I thought he came at the end, but I just didn't even recognize him, and he's a little bit more in the beginning. But what happens is, now I know you guys probably do this a lot. You know, you're like, we could play Spin the Bottle, but it's so boring. Let's play Spin the Knife on the Pentagram. So they're playing Spin the Knife on the Pentagram at this Halloween party, and it's a guy, and it lands on another guy, and like everybody insists they have to kiss or whatever. I don't know, what is this, a normal procedure to happen? But instead of kissing him, he just flips out and starts killing everybody with the knife. And basically they catch him, and then, you know, like they shoot him 3 to 5 times, and he falls out of a 2-story window, and he escapes into a freezing cold river. And then somehow the next Halloween comes back and starts killing again. And basically it just keeps happening every Halloween. This killer will come back, and they're not positive it's him, but then they start thinking it's like this supernatural force, that this guy is coming back every year and killing people, and they can't stop him. They can't find him. They don't know who he is. Like his identity is a secret. And Omar Epps like becomes obsessed with finding him. And you know, he's kind of the only one that thinks it's the same guy and not just like copycats. And then he starts getting like this following on the internet, and people are obsessed with him. And you know, it was a fun movie. I thought they did a really good job, like with the practical effects. Some of the few, you know, kind of special effects they put in there that weren't practical effects, not so good. The story overall is okay. The acting, you know, for the most part was pretty decent. I did enjoy this one, guys. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Next up is Overcomer. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Amazon and Walmart, $19.96. Best Buy, $19.99. And Target, $22.99. It's also releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart, $17.96. Target, $19.99. And Best Buy, $22.99. Now, Sony Pictures did send me over a copy of Overcomer for review. Just a quick look at it here. #1 inspirational movie in America. This is from the Kendrick brothers. I don't think I've seen any of their other movies. I could be wrong. Maybe I have. The Blu-ray there has the images, and the DVD is just kind of a silver color. So this movie is about this kind of, I don't know if it's like a small town or a medium town. Probably a small town. Yeah, it's a small town. And this guy, he's like the the basketball coach, and he's the history teacher, and his son's on the basketball team, and they lose the championship, and they're like, next year is the year. Unfortunately, the big industry in the town closes, and everybody starts moving, and all the star players move to where they have a better chance of playing. And so they ask this guy to coach the cross-country team. Unfortunately, there's only one athlete participating in cross-country, and she also has asthma, which to me, I don't know, it just seemed kind of strange. And it turns out like her parents are dead, or are they? And she lives with her grandmother. And this is one of those just really, really, preachy, preaching Christian values and believing in God and having faith, and that this will kind of solve your problems. And it was a good movie, guys. I really liked it. I liked the story, and the acting was really good, and I really liked the characters. And it's one of those kind of, it's got sad parts, but it's like it's a feel-good movie overall. I did enjoy this one, guys. Give this one a chance. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Rambo Last Blood. Do you think they'll make a Rambo Last Blood Part 2? or will they just call it Last Blood Part 2? Anyways, this one's releasing on a 4K Blu-ray and digital. Amazon and Walmart $24.96, Best Buy and Target $24.99. I will have an exclusive steelbook at Best Buy, which will include 4K Blu-ray and digital for $29.99. Also releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy combo pack. Amazon and Walmart $19.96, Best Buy and Target $19.99. And finally, it will be releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart $14.96, Target $14.99, and Best Buy $22.99. Now, I did skip this one. I didn't get sent a review copy. And the steelbook, well, it does have a interesting artwork. It's just not a movie that I felt I had to rush out and get. I'm trying to cut back a little bit. So this was one that I just really had to pass on for now. I still haven't even seen Rambo, or whatever the fourth one's called. So just not in a hurry to check this one out. Next up is Ad Astra. This one is releasing on a 4K Blu-ray and digital. Walmart $29.96, Amazon, Best Buy, and Target $29.99. Also releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy combo pack. Amazon and Walmart $22.96, Best Buy and Target $22.99. And then finally, it is releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart $17.99, Best Buy and Target $19.99. Now, Fox Home Entertainment did send me over a digital copy of Ad Astra to watch and review for you guys. So this one stars Brad Pitt, and he's an astronaut. I don't know if they really gave a date. If they did, I missed it. But in the future, or the near future, he's an astronaut, and he's working on this like tower going up to space. I didn't understand it. Like, how would it stay up? Like, it was just kind of like this skinny tower, and there's some sort of disaster or something happens. And it's like, there's all these explosions and people are like flying off the side of it, and he flies off the side, but they're not technically in space. They're like just way up in the atmosphere, and he's like falling to Earth, and he has a parachute and everything. And so what happens is it's some kind of energy, something, I can't remember what they called it, coming from Neptune. And it turns out his father was there. At some point, they believed he was dead, I believe quite a while ago, but they're thinking maybe he's actually there alive, and that he may be doing some sort of experiment or something, and that's what caused this. And it's causing like all these problems with the power on Earth. And so Brad Pitt is basically sent up like secretively, kind of. He has to like go to the moon and then go to Mars and try to get a message to talk to his dad. And kind of, to me, I just like, they're still using like modern day rockets to get into space, which to me, I don't feel like the rocket is really like a viable long-term kind of way to get to space. And they're almost running it like an airline. It just, to me, it seemed like, they would have to come up with some kind of cheaper way to get to space. And and so there, a couple things happen along the way, but the story to me was kind of confusing. Like, I didn't really understand what exactly his dad's experiment was, or and this movie is long, a little over 2 hours, or so. It's about 2 hours, and it is slow. It's super slow. The story to me just wasn't that interesting. I just could not get into this movie. I mean, Brad Pitt was fine, but he narrates the movie also, and it's just everything he says is in this really slow tone, and the music is, you know, in that really slow kind of just tone that almost puts you to sleep, and it just makes everything in this movie feel like it's taking forever. The action moments are few and far between. A lot of people were complaining about the science is bad and that, you know, the stuff in the movie doesn't really make a lot of sense. And to me, this movie was just too slow, guys. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Next up is Abominable. This one is releasing on a 4K Blu-ray and digital. Amazon and Walmart $27.96, Best Buy $27.99, and Target $29.99. It is actually getting a 3D release, if you can believe that. It will include 3D, Blu-ray, and digital. Amazon and Walmart $36, Best Buy and Target $42.99. Also releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Amazon and Walmart $22.96, Best Buy $22.99, and Target $24.99. Finally, it'll be releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart $17.96, Best Buy and Target $19.99. Next up is Acceleration. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon and Target $13, Walmart $14.96, and Best Buy $14.99. Also releasing on a DVD. Amazon, Target, and Walmart $12.96. Best Buy no listing. Next up is American Woman, releasing on a Blu-ray. Walmart $22.55, Target $23.49, Amazon $24.99, and Best Buy no listing. Next up is Spider in the Web, releasing on a Blu-ray. Walmart $22.55, Target $23.49, Amazon $24.99, and Best Buy no listing. Next up, Danger Close will be releasing on a DVD and digital copy combo pack. Amazon and Walmart $12.96, Best Buy and Target $13.99. Now, I did review this one roughly a month ago, so if you guys want my full review, you can just search for Danger Close on my channel. I didn't get a review copy of the actual physical media, so I watched it last about a month ago, and it was about these Australian and New Zealand, I believe, soldiers in the Vietnam War, and I can't remember if they were going on some sort of mission or something happens, and they basically get like pinned down and they're outnumbered like 100 to 1 or something. And it's based on a true story about these soldiers that kind of won this little battle or whatever. It was a really good movie, guys. I really enjoyed this one. I'd highly recommend it. I'm pretty disappointed they only released it on DVD, but I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Check this one out for sure. Next up, Fuller House, the complete 4th season, is releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart $18.99, Best Buy and Target $19.99. Now, I didn't pre-order this one, and I'm not going to pick it up right away just because I don't have time to watch it. I could always watch it on Netflix if I really wanted to. And, you know, like I said, just trying to cut back a little bit. If I see it at a really good price or, you know, something changes, I will pick it up at some point. Just I don't feel like I need to pick it up right now. Next up is Killjoys Season 5. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray. Target $32.49, Amazon and Walmart $33.61, and Best Buy no listing. Also releasing on a DVD. Amazon, Best Buy, Target, and Walmart, all $27.99. Next up is Silver Bullet, releasing on a Blu-ray, Best Buy $22.99, Amazon, Target, and Walmart, all $24.99. Now, if you guys would please stick around, I do have a few previous releases and a few upcoming releases to review for you guys. So first up, Lionsgate sent over The Cotton Club Encore for review. I'm not sure why they call it Encore. The movie's called The Cotton Club, so I didn't really understand where Encore came in. If it, I don't know. Is that just because it's Blu-ray? Like they don't typically add on more words for Blu-ray? I don't know. I don't know why they add that on. This is from Francis Ford Coppola, and I kind of wondered why I never heard of this movie, even though I've probably never seen a lot of Francis Ford Coppola's movies. He's a well-known director, and I was curious why I never heard of this. It also has like this amazing cast: Richard Gere, Gregory Hines, Diane Lane, Lonette McKee, Nicolas Cage. Also has Lawrence Fishburne and a couple more people whose faces I recognize, but I don't know their names for sure. So this movie is about these bootleggers in New York in the late 20s, early 30s kind of time. And, they're in the mob. And there's also this club called the Cotton Club. And there's a lot of African-American kind of like singers and dancers and performers there. but they're like banned from the club, so they can come in to perform, but they can't come in. You know, it's dealing a lot with the racism involved, and there's like a couple romances in this movie, and then you also have these gangsters who are like killing each other and struggling for power. It's an interesting movie. It's a little long. I can't remember. 139 minutes, a little over 2 hours on this one. And to me, they showed just way too much of the like the dancing and the practicing for the dancing. It really had little to do with the story, I felt, but I mean, they really focused on it a lot. There was stuff I liked, but I wish it had been shorter. You know, there's definitely an interesting story with some great characters, great actors in this one. But, you know, I just wish it had been shorter. I know I've already said that, but it's too long. They just added a little too much into this one for me. And I can kind of see maybe why I've never heard of it. It's a lot more musical than I would have expected. But I gave this one a 3 out of 5, guys. It's a good movie. Next up, Lionsgate sent over Semper Fi for review. Now, this one has actually been out for a little bit, but I just got my review copy. This one had, who did it have in it? Jai Courtney. And maybe some other people you've heard of, but Jai Courtney was in this one. It only had a 99-minute runtime, so to me, it's right in that sweet spot. Can't remember what the discs looked like on this one. Oh yeah, we had 2 different unique artworks, Blu-ray there and DVD there. And there was really just a ton going on in this movie, guys. It's almost hard to even describe exactly what the movie's about because there's so much going on in this plot. So there's this group of, I don't remember what it was, 4 or 5 friends or whatever, and they're all in the Marine Reserves, which I don't know. I didn't think that was a thing. Like, I know obviously the Army Reserves or the Army National Guard or whatever, but I never heard of Marine Reserves. I guess it's a thing, like, you know, where they're only going like 1 weekend a month and whatever. I'm just saying, I never heard of it, but so the one guy's a cop, and his younger brother is also in their unit, and his younger brother's got into a lot of trouble, and so what happens is his brother kind of gets into a bar fight. It's not necessarily his fault, but one of the guys ends up dying because he like bumps his head on something, and he ends up dying, and so he kind of goes on the run, and then his brother has to find him and bring him in, and then their unit gets deployed to, I believe it was Afghanistan. I'm not 100% sure if it was Afghanistan or Iraq, but I believe it was Afghanistan. And they kind of go over there, and they show a little bit of them fighting, and they come back. And I know I'm talking about the plot of this a lot, but like I said, there's just so many different points to the plot. And then they basically decide to break his brother out of prison, and that's kind of the rest of the movie. And so to me, it's hard to say, what is this movie about? Is it about these soldiers? Is it about the brother? Is it about breaking him out? It almost turns into a heist movie at the end. And I don't know. I liked it, guys. I thought the acting was good. The story was good. It was a little cluttered with different things going on and such. You know, it also went into a lot of like his brother's life in prison. I mean, he wasn't there for a super long time, but kind of what his brother was going through. And so, yeah, I really liked it, guys. It was a fun movie. I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5. Next up, I was sent over Santa Fake for review. This one is out now as well. And this movie was about this guy. He was an orphan, and he kind of grows up, and he ends up getting this job at a bar. And he really looks up to the owner, and he kind of almost thinks of the owner. He almost kind of thinks of the owner as kind of like a father figure. And one day he asks him to take these 2 briefcases, and he's going to deliver them somewhere, and he's going to give him all this money for it. He kind of reveals that, you know, if the police catch him, he won't turn him in, and, you know, everything's going to be fine with this kid. But then he kind of gets into trouble on the way of the delivery, and he ends up escaping. Like, there's people after him and cops after him, and he ends up making his way to New Mexico, and he kind of like moves in with this woman who's, I don't know if she's running like a bed and breakfast or what the deal is, but he moves in with her, and then eventually he opens the briefcase, and there's like $300,000 in there, and so he kind of starts living it up a little bit. And then there's these 2 guys after him, and he kind of comes up with this idea that if he just becomes Santa Claus, he could, you know, hide in plain sight because he'd be wearing the Santa Claus costume. and he kind of becomes like this really great Santa Claus and a really nice person. He was never a bad person. He just kind of felt like he owed that guy. And, kind of towards the end, it becomes more of like a feel good kind of movie where he's trying to help out all these people and do all this good stuff. And he sings a couple songs. It becomes a little musical. It was a fun movie. I definitely like that it had a positive message. And it's kind of a feel-good movie. And this guy, he's a good guy, and he's doing nice things, and he's trying to help people out. And for the most part, the acting was pretty good. There were a few people in here you'd probably recognize: Judd Nelson, John Rhys Davies, Tony Amendola. So there were some known people in this. They weren't huge characters, but they were in it. I think overall it was a good production on this one. It was a definitely an enjoyable movie. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. Next up, Lionsgate sent over The Kill Team for review. Now this was a movie about soldiers, and I believe they were in Afghanistan. Yeah, they were in Afghanistan. And there's this young kid named Brigman, and his dad was in the Marines or something, I believe, and he joins the army. And he ends up going to Afghanistan, and he's kind of really young and naive, and he's trying to learn, and he wants to become like the team leader or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. And they get this. Now, I'm terrible with the ranking system in these kind of things, but basically the guy over their group gets killed, and then a new guy comes in, and he's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to describe exactly, but he seems to be like really manipulative, and he kind of has like his own agenda. And so they're kind of going to these villages, and they're trying to find who's making the IEDs and where they're planted and stuff. And he kind of starts killing people and planting weapons on them and stuff like that. And Brigman kind of starts to see what's happening, and he wants to turn him in, but he's afraid for his life. And I believe this is based on a true story, and it's pretty crazy what happens, guys. Really well-made movie. Great production on this one. Great acting. Really enjoyed this one, guys. Highly recommend this one. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Last up this week, guys, Lionsgate sent over Judy for review. Now, this is the story of Judy Garland. Definitely digging this slipcover, guys. Renee Zellweger here on the cover. I don't know how well you guys can see it. There's kind of like there's kind of like this shininess or whatever in her earrings and her dress. And on the title, I don't know if there's enough light on it for you guys to see. It's also on the back. You have a sparkly, that's the word I'm looking for, sparkly look to it. The discs, I think we're just plain discs there. As I said, this is the story of Judy Garland. Not necessarily her kind of entire life story. At one point, and I can't remember if she was like in her 40s. Can't remember. She goes to, well, she's like struggling. She doesn't really have any money or work, and she's struggling, and she's going to lose her kids, and they go to stay with their dad. And they're like, there's no work for you here, but if you go to London, you can make a lot of money. And so she reluctantly goes because she doesn't want to leave her kids, but she goes to London to perform kind of in this show. And I don't know if it said how long she was doing it, but she's just singing and dancing every night. And they also kind of have flashbacks back to when she was younger and just getting into acting and kind of what the movie industry was like. But it mostly focuses on this time period when she's in London up until the end of her life, because once she goes to London, I don't think she's alive a whole lot after that. To me, guys, this one just has too long of a runtime, 2 hours, with not enough going on to really keep me interested. The thing is, I don't really know anything about Judy Garland. She was in Wizard of Oz. Other than that, I really didn't know anything about her. And while this does, give some information about her, like I say, it's past the prime of her career, and it's the stuff that's going on isn't super interesting. I thought Renee Zellweger was great in this movie, though. Definitely enjoyable from her. And overall, guys, I did like this movie. I just felt like it was a little too long. for what it was, and maybe they could have just shown more of her life or whatever. But I gave this one a 3 out of 5. You know, if you guys are into Judy Garland, definitely check that one out for sure. So that is it for this week, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you guys plan on picking up any of these titles or you've seen any of them, love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check out suggested videos, and for more movie news, check out my website, BobsMovieReview.com. And I'll see you guys next time.